Well, Bill, a lot of us learn about business through the companies that we see. And most of us, the companies that we see are Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, companies that have endless product lines. And so one of the questions that we get asked all the time is, well, why can't I pursue different product lines? Why do I have to select the beachhead market? Coca-Cola is doing it, Procter & Gamble is doing it, why can't I?
Yeah, I get this all the time in class, but that's not the way Google does it. That's not the way Microsoft does it. Well, that's because they're really big now, and they've got tons of resource. They've got a balance sheet with billions of dollars on it, and they've got customers that already exist and a brand that people know. On the other hand, we as a startup have none of that. We have to get out there, we have to scrape, we have to fight for everything. We don't have that. We are the attackers. They are the defenders. They've got all the assets. We've got to be 10 times better. We got to get by with 1/10 of the resources, and we just have to be 10 times smarter about how we do things. Otherwise, we're going to be defeated by these bigger companies all the time.
Yeah,
but the good news is entrepreneurs do figure out ways to do that, and they defeat larger companies in selected niches over and over again. That's why the big companies end up buying them.
The entrepreneurs that we profile throughout the course, most of them are technology entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
And we get asked all the time, does the framework apply outside of technology? And does the framework apply for service businesses?
A product is either a product as we know it or a repeatable service. So that means we can scale the business. Service business is a little harder because to scale the business, you need people. You need to add people. It's like a body shop. And adding people can be a hard thing. But if it's a service that's repeatable, then everything applies without modification. If it's a custom service that we have to do over and over again, yeah, user-centered design, what we've been talking about, does apply, but it's not going to give you that ramp and great success that you will if you can make a repeatable service. So I would distinguish on that. Product in this case is product or repeatable service. If you want to do a custom service, it's good to know who your customer is, but that doesn't give you, the high growth that we're talking about and trying to build here through disciplined entrepreneurship.
Well, a lot of our students are from developing countries, and this is the last question. They ask, does this apply for developing countries where purchasing power is very low? And there is a variant of that question where they say, I'm from a very small country. My country of origin is Kyrgyzstan, very small country, and there are students from Estonia, also a very small country. And for a lot of them, it's disheartening to be an entrepreneur because they know the internal market is very small.
Right. This is true. So first of all, developing countries versus developed countries. We're talking about some fundamental truths of entrepreneurship, which are valid whether you're in the United States or whether you're in Karachi or whether you're in, Kigali or Rwanda. These are fundamental truths. Now, the context in which they operate can vary a lot. Well, we don't have a huge internal market. Well, that's the bad news. That's also the good news. When you look at places that realize they can't just sell to their internal market, like Ireland, they realize that this is just to get them going. They always have they always raise their level of eyesight. Wow, we have to get beyond our borders, and they think about that from the beginning. And so their ambition and how they think about marketing and how they think about their product is not just what I have here today in front of me. Their line of sight is much higher and thinking out. And you see great successes in places like Ireland, in places like Israel, and where they know
Singapore, Estonia,
where they know that the internal market is not big enough.
I think the lesson for students who are in very small countries, and I really relate to that because I come myself from a small landlocked country, you could say in the middle of nowhere, is if you're from a country like that, assume that the internal market is a global market.
That's what innovation-driven entrepreneurship is all about. Think of global markets, not just local markets.